everybody, my name is Chef Rob. Welcome. We are going to make some harvest pumpkin duffins. This is great all fall right up until Thanksgiving. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 350. They will only take about 10 to 12 minutes. We're going to take a large bowl and we're going to start adding our dry ingredients in. First thing we want to do is take 1 full cup of the all-purpose flour and just kind of spoon it off. Make sure it's nice and level. So we have our 1 cup. We're going to add a 1/2 cup now, and then our 1/4 cup. So a total of 1 3/4 cups flour. Now we're going to add in a lot of good spices. Fall always filled with a lot of really nice autumn spices. So we're going to add in some ground cinnamon. It's a 1/2 teaspoon. Just add that right onto the flour. Going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Most recipes you will see the nutmeg is usually a little bit less because a little more intense in flavor. But this, I really like the spices. I like it strong in spice, and you will enjoy it. So now we're going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of the ground allspice. Add that right into the dry mixture. And then we only want an 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. Those are very, very strong. So just a little bit. To make them rise, we need some baking powder. So I want 2 full teaspoons of the baking powder. Nice and level. Just like that. And then we're going to add in some salt. So a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Regular table salt will be fine. And then we're just going to take our large bowl, mix this up, take a wire whisk, bring this all together, and just set this aside. Again, make sure you have your oven preheated to 350. So we have all our dry ingredients ready. We're going to take the wet ingredients now. We're going to take 3/4 cup of the pumpkin puree. So I have a 1/2 cup right here and a 1/4 cup. When you buy the pumpkin, make sure it does not say the pumpkin pie mix. It'll either say 100% pure, or it will say the pumpkin puree. Okay, very important. We're also going to add in, and whole milk is very crucial to this recipe, so a 1/2 cup of the whole milk. So add that right in there. Going to add in some brown sugar. You want a 1/2 cup, and you want the 1/2 cup to be packed in here. So you don't want too much, not too little. So just kind of pack it in there, and it should come out just like this. Okay. Add that right in here. You want a 1/3 cup of either vegetable oil or canola oil. Either one would work. And let's make sure that's right. Pour that right in here. 1 egg. If you can remember to take it out ahead of time, just let it come to room temperature. Let's drop that right in. Now we need some vanilla extract, the pure vanilla extract. Well, 1 teaspoon. And then we're going to whisk this up. Now if you don't have a mini muffin pan, you can always take this and make regular muffins. Just make less, but cook it a little bit more. So we're just going to whisk this up really well. And then we're going to pour this into the dry ingredients and just get it to where it's combined. You can always add nuts to this. You can add like chopped up walnuts. You can add raisins, dried cranberries, little mini chocolate chips. So you can change this around a lot. Okay. And now just take a spatula and just get this to where it is all mixed together. And then we're going to spray a muffin tin, and we're going to drop this into the muffin tin. And they will take about 10 to 12 minutes. Just kind of put your finger on the muffin when it's ready to come out, and the muffin should spring back. If you feels like your finger would still sink in, you want to just let it bake a couple minutes more. As soon as the flour is gone, that is exactly when you want to stop. It's going to make a lot of muffins. We're going to spray this, and while these are baking, we'll just mix up a little bit of cinnamon sugar. We'll melt a little bit of butter, because when these come out, we're going to roll these in the cinnamon sugar. They're going to be so good. Like little donut holes. Okay, so this is the way you want it to look. Okay, the batter just like that. So we're just going to take the muffin tin. You can buy these anywhere, so if you think you're going to use these, buy the mini ones. They make it really nice, especially when you're going to have other desserts. And just a quick light spray in there, and that is it. And now we're going to start spooning the batter in. So we're just going to take a teaspoon, and we're just going to drop some muffin batter in here. Halfway to 3/4, depending on how big you want it. Remember, these are going to get a little higher, and if you want them a lot bigger, you can fill them the whole way too, because they're not going to go over. It's a nice thick batter, and they will not spill over in your oven. So just use all the batter up and make as many as you can. And our last one, we're going to put this in the 350 oven, and we're going to check it in about 10 minutes. So our Duffins are in the oven, so we're just going to take 2 tablespoons of the ground cinnamon. This measurement here is actually 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to take 2/3 of a cup of sugar. Add that in here, that's 1/3, and our other 1/3. We're just going to mix that up really well. And then we're going to melt 4 tablespoons of butter. We're just going to let the muffins kind of cool for about 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to dip them in the melted butter, and then roll them in the cinnamon sugar and put them on our platter. So the cinnamon sugar should look just like this here. Make sure you get to the bottom here. Okay. So our Duffins came out of the oven. They took exactly 10 minutes. I have 4 tablespoons of melted butter right here. And before we made our cinnamon sugar, so now we are all ready. You can put these on a wire rack or right onto the plate. So just take the muffin top just like this. Dip it in a little butter and a little cinnamon sugar just like that. If you want to be really coat it with a lot of cinnamon sugar, you can roll it all just like that. You may need to add a little more melted butter and a little more cinnamon sugar, so your choice. But this recipe was made just to kind of dip it into the cinnamon sugar. And we're going to do that with all of these. You can see we got 24 out of this, which is just perfect. If you are using the medium-sized muffin tins, then just bake them for about 18 to 20 minutes and just check them the same way. So just keep repeating with this until they are all done. And our last one, so 4 tablespoons of the melted butter was perfect if you're just doing the tops. I have a little bit of cinnamon sugar here left, and you can save that because you're going to want to make more of these. They will freeze really well. Again, 350 oven, about 10 to 12 minutes, and I hope you have a great fall and happy Thanksgiving. Everybody get your pumpkin early because you know what the shortage is, so just buy it early and have it. Have a great day, everybody.
I'm all shook up.